Hey guys, Zach from PlayStation.net with a video review for Velocity 2X. Shoot 'em ups have long been a part of gaming history. They've taken form in a plethora of different ways, from top-down to on-rail 3D shooters, and often follow the tried-and-true premise of shoot things now, ask questions later. This led to a huge resurgence, particularly in the 80s, of crazy space shooters in all shapes and sizes, some offering to ditch the space theme in the name of creative insanity. Of course, this paved the way for some excellent games, but many often stuck to the same formula, not offering up much in the way of innovation. However, developer Future Lab have not only created a beautifully exhilarating sci-fi shoot-'em-up that harkens back to the classics, but managed to fit it with inventive mechanics and blend a platformer into one adventure to freshen up the genre as a whole. A quirky story is implemented into Velocity's hectic environment as a means to justify the innumerable amount of baddies you blast on your travels. Picking up from when the previous title left off, you play as Lieutenant Kaitana, a corp jet pilot whose body was incredibly damaged when she tried to close up a black hole threatening the world. Any of her limbs lost in the wreckage are replaced with mechanics by an evil alien race known as the Vok. The Vok repair Kaitana as they wish to use her ship as part of their diabolical plan to take over the world by draining the power of the stars from wormholes. However, upon her awakening after being rebuilt, Kai manages to escape with the help of prisoner Ralland III, an alien whom you take on board. You join together and aim to defeat the Vok Empire and travel back to Earth. While not the strongest story in the world, it does a rather admirable job of piecing together a cohesive plot. It serves as a nice structure to the game, but more importantly, each segment is graciously presented through gorgeously rendered pieces of digital art. Each of these scenes are brimming with highly stylized charm and personality, toning a fantastic otherworldly vibe with delightfully pleasant neon tones and vibrantly colourful stills. This wonderful art style is carried over into presentation, as each of the worlds and stations you travel to evoke a tantalising space thrill, inviting you to blaze through at blistering speed. Music is treated splendidly. It follows through with the space theme and crafts a superbly energetic soundtrack. Each of the songs featured are electronically fueled, bursting with a remarkably atmospheric tone. It gives Velocity a magnificent sense of character and charisma, as a perfect complement to the overall rapid pace of the game. All that being said, gameplay is where it truly shines brightest. Instead of being one single genre of game and locking itself down, it mixes together several different playstyles into one single experience. At its core, it's a top-down space shoot-'em-up, and a very good one at that. There's always a slight challenge ahead, but you never feel overwhelmed or under-equipped. Along with your weapons, you're also granted access to a teleporter, both on foot and in your ship, as well as a telepod you can place and return to at any time. As you progress further on, the levels begin to take full advantage of this mechanic, engaging you to figure out which way to go, teleporting at the right moments, dropping off pods at branching paths in order to deactivate surrounding switches and find secrets in the process. It takes what could have been an average mash the button to win fest and gives it a unique aspect of fun and a great sense of adventure. Yes, you fly in an unchanging linear path, but this makes it much more exciting to navigate. But personally, it's the platforming sections here that take the cake. A new method implemented into Velocity's gameplay, it's a rather genius way of mixing things up both between and within levels. Often you'll be tasked with landing at the stations, in which you'll find yourself belting down corridors at breakneck speeds, collecting gems, defeating enemies and avoiding death from various pitfalls and traps. It works magnificently as controls are tight and precise, and level design is given the same clever treatment as the outside. Teleporting, shooting and running all work in tandem and feel natural as you operate the part cyborg heroine. Instead of feeling tacked on, it's like another self-contained game in itself and serves not as a side dish but as a main course in beefing up the replayability and just overall enjoyment. Velocity 2X is a gem of a game. Within its 50 levels are an enormous amount of pure adrenaline fun to be had. While it can be beaten within a few hours, each stage is graded on a number of factors, including time. This grading system injects the spirit of a racer into the game as you thunder down each stage in a fury trying to beat the allotted time. It practically doubles the replay value and gives it a new lease of life, as it opens up to its true and chaotic fast-paced potential. With crisp, clean and gorgeous graphics, immensely quick and fluid gameplay, Velocity 2X is a fantastically unique take on the classic shoot-'em-up. I would thoroughly recommend everybody pick this up this autumn season, as it's a game that truly demands and is completely worth your attention. That's all for this review, thanks for watching. For the full written review and other PlayStationer content, go to PlayStationer.net.